There's a type of person who doesn't get to fall apart. Not because they don't want to, not because they don't need to, but because somewhere along the way, they became the strong one. And once people see you that way, they rarely unsee it. You're the one they call when they're spiraling, the one they text paragraphs to, the one who gives logical advice during emotional chaos, the one who says, "Take a breath, we'll figure it out." But when you're the one spiraling, you stare at the ceiling, alone, and you don't call anyone. Because strong people don't do that, right? Yeah, sure. Let's go back. You didn't choose this personality. You developed it. Maybe you were raised in a house where emotions were loud, or unstable, or ignored. Maybe you learned that if you stayed calm, things wouldn't escalate. Maybe you learned that if you didn't react, you wouldn't make things worse. Maybe you learned that being emotional got you nowhere, so you adapted. You became observant, measured, controlled. You learned to read the room before speaking. You learned to swallow feelings before expressing them. You learned to be the emotional adult, even if you were just a kid. And people rewarded you for it. You're so mature. You're different. You're not dramatic. And that praise, it wired you. It taught you that composure equals value. So now, you don't know how to not be composed. Here's something subtle. There's a difference between processing emotions and suppressing them. Processing is messy. It involves sitting with discomfort, naming it, feeling it, sometimes crying through it. Suppressing looks cleaner. You understand it. You rationalize it. You explain it away. You shrink it. You intellectualize it. You say things like, "It's not that deep. It could be worse. It's fine." But the body keeps score. Even when the mind says it's okay, your chest tightens, your sleep changes, your patience shortens, your joy dulls. But you keep functioning, because functioning is your specialty. You don't lie, you just underreport. When someone asks how you are, you say, "I'm good." And technically, you're not on fire, so it counts. But good doesn't mean light. It doesn't mean peaceful. It doesn't mean rested. It means operational. You are operational. And people mistake operational for healthy. Because if the machine is running, why open it up, right? Let's be honest, people don't check up on you. Because you trained them not to. Not on purpose, but through consistency. You show up steady. You show up logical. You show up solution-focused. So they assume you're built different. They assume you don't struggle the same way. They assume you're emotionally bulletproof. And the scary part? You start believing it too. You convince yourself that needing support is weakness, that breaking down would disappoint people, that vulnerability would shift how they see you. So you stay solid, even when you're cracking. There's a loneliness that comes with being capable. When you're good at handling things, people give you more things to handle. When you're emotionally intelligent, people unload more emotion onto you. When you're reliable, people rely harder. And because you can manage it, You do, over and over and over. But here's the quiet truth. Capability without support turns into isolation. You're surrounded by people, but no one is holding you. Sometimes you watch other people fall apart, and they get comfort, reassurance, attention, softness. And you think, must be nice. Then immediately, you feel ashamed for thinking that, because you don't want to be needy. You don't want to compete for care. You don't want to be too much. So you shrink your need again and again and again until you barely recognize it. Armor is heavy, even if it fits well, even if you've worn it for years, even if people admire it, it's still heavy. And when you never take it off, you forget what light feels like. You forget what softness feels like. You forget what it feels like to not be responsible. So one day, your body forces you. Burnout, withdrawal, emotional numbness, irritability. You don't explode, you fade. And fading is harder for people to notice. Let's redefine strength. Strength isn't being the emotional shock absorber for everyone. It's not absorbing impact so others don't feel it. Real strength is balance. It's saying, I can help you, and also saying, I need help too. It's saying, I'm here, and also saying, I'm tired. You don't stop being strong when you express need. You stop being alone. This doesn't change overnight. You've been this person for years, maybe decades. So start small. Next time someone asks how you are, answer one level deeper. Instead of, I'm good, try, I've been a little overwhelmed. Notice how that feels. Uncomfortable? Good. That means it's real. Next time you're carrying something heavy emotionally, tell one safe person. Not everyone, just one. Let someone hold 5% of the weight. You don't have to drop the armor completely. Just loosen it. If you're the strong one, you're not strong because you feel less. You're strong because you feel deeply and still show up. But you're allowed to show up imperfect. You're allowed to be supported. You're allowed to not have answers. You're allowed to not be okay. Strength isn't about never breaking. It's about knowing you don't have to break alone. Let me ask you something. When was the last time someone asked how you were and you answered honestly? If it's been a while, maybe it's time. You don't have to stop being strong. Just stop being silent. This is Mind in Lines. And if no one's told you lately, it's okay to need support. See you in the next one.